Let's all go to the back row. Let's all go to the back row. Let's all go to the back row to get ourselves a treat.
It's just one audio. We don't need to sync it. It's just one phone. All right.
We're here. We're at the theater. We're finally going to see a movie.
Been counting down the days all year.
So what did we miss? So what did we miss? What did we miss already? We've missed a ton. We missed Guardians.
We didn't talk about The Flash.
Oh yeah, we should have talked. We can still do an episode on it. It's not as timely, but we can still talk about it, I guess, at some point. Or not, or we'll just never acknowledge that it came out. We might edit this out right now.
But yeah, we've missed a lot. But I'll be damned, we are not going to miss Blue Beetle.
I mean, hey, this is cinema history. It's the first time Blue Beetle, Ted Kord, or Jaime Reyes has appeared in not any live action. Has he been in a TV show, maybe? I feel like he has, maybe at some point.
Probably.
But his big screen debut.
Yeah. And all jokes aside, like, the funny part of all of this is just how much Warner Brothers sucks and how horrible they are at everything they're doing. But, like, I genuinely am excited to see this, just like I was to see The Flash. And not knowing if this movie is good or not, I feel very bad for everyone involved with this movie. Because they're just getting the shaft of timing.
Why even release this? What's the fucking point?
No marketing push, no backing from the studio, no nothing. It's tough. You hate to see it. And
Tom Cruise didn't come out and say this is the greatest movie he's ever seen. Nothing. Maybe that's good. Maybe this is a hidden gem. Because that did not bode well for Flash.
But what do you know about Blue Beetle? See, the only thing I know about Blue Beetle is back when Rebirth was coming out, that comic series, we share. I think either you bought it or I bought it, and we read the first couple issues of that together. But that's the extent of my knowledge of Blue Beetle.
I like Blue Beetle a lot, in a lot of the different sort of forms he's come in through. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know all the history and everything. I do. Originally Ted Kord, very, like, almost a completely different character. Just like a guy in blue spandex with little yellow goggles. Completely different character. He's good friends with Booster Gold back in the day. Like, that was like the little fun, like, Deadpool team up, I guess, but the two goofy characters no one gave a shit about.
Right.
But now we've got Jaime Reyes, who is kind of like the Blue Beetle we've all grown up on. Like, anybody our age in, like, their late 20s and 30s, like, early 30s has grown up on Jaime Reyes. I like this Blue Beetle a lot more than the original, sue me. I'm sure that's the hottest fucking take. Nobody gives a shit. But he's got an alien armor suit he found from Kord Industry or something like that. Some company. He like ended up like coming across this little alien piece of technology. It fuses to him. It's kind of like the Venom symbiote. Sometimes it listens to him. Sometimes it's got a personality and it doesn't. It just does its own thing. It's fun. He's a fun little character. I like his interactions with like the Teen Titans a lot, or like sometimes he's in the Justice League a little bit. He's awesome. He has a great... Okay, so his biggest villain that I've ever seen is, like, the Reach. Is, like, this group of alien, like, colonizers or whatever. I love that run in Young Justice. They do a whole... Or, like, almost, like half a season, maybe a whole season, is dedicated to Blue Beetle and Black Beetle and the Reach. Coming in and, like, taking over Earth. Slowly infiltrating the Earth and everything. So fun. I really like that run in Young Justice. I like him in other stuff. That's as much as I know. I love that run. I like whenever the Reach comes up in comic books. Very oft forgotten. Nobody remembers what they do. But I like him a good bit. They're a really fun kind of villain for Blue Beetle and the other cavalcade of heroes.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know any of that. So that kind of adds a little context to this. One thing I still am completely fuzzy about, and the movie may or may not answer this based on The Flash. It probably won't answer this. Is this connected to what's coming next? Like, is this in the old DCEU? Is this in the new ECU?
Spit that shit out, man!
Like, what is it? Where does this fall?
Is this the Gunniverse, or is this the tail end of the Snyderverse? I guarantee you they edited a lot out of this to make sure there was they might say things But I would put a crispy $1 bill on there being no visual cameos or references to anything in the Snyderverse. There's not going to be a Wonder Woman, no Superman, headless cameo. We're not going to hear that. We're not going to hear that fucking sting. I like that sting. I don't know why. We're not going to see nothing. I don't think we're going to see a hint of any other characters. References, like vague references to like, oh, you know, like I know everybody heard the Batman is a fascist joke.
Right.
In there.
That got me hot, man.
Yeah, dude, I was fucking
hot.
fired up. Dude, I wanted Jordan Peterson to do a breakdown of this movie with us, but we couldn't get him in time.
The damn woke moralists, they got Blue Beetle, man.
They got my
him.
boy, dude. I couldn't get it. I couldn't JB's in here to do anything with me. Yeah, so like I think we'll get like said references, but nothing visual. I don't think we'll see any characters that we've known from the Snyderverse.
I'm fine with that, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, just do your own thing. Let's just keep this separate. Don't patronize me with characters I want to see.
That I know I'll never see again after this movie. That doesn't matter.
Don't give me hope. Don't do that. But yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm excited to check it out.
What if they do that? I think also a smart move here is that they don't do any of those references. Mm-hmm. There's a good chance they can roll this into the Gunniverse.
That's true.
He would be, I know for a fact this is a character James Gunn would want to work with.
Yeah.
Or at least fit into his world. He likes how fun and whimsical this young, like, you know, teenage superhero with a crazy alien suit on. I think he loves this idea. I know he does somewhere in the back of my mind. I just feel it.
Yeah.
So if there's no references and this does well, which I think is doing all right now for a no-name hero, basically. Seems like it's doing pretty good on its opening weekend.
Yeah, I mean, considering all the factors of, no marketing, no,
End of a dead universe,
yeah,
a no-name hero, like it's doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, the whole world is stacked up against it, so it's impossible to say. But yeah, I mean, I'd say all things considered, it's doing well. But it's also impossible to know because, like, James Gunn has said, I don't know if you've noticed, but he tends to say a lot of different things that don't always come true. Like the Flash will reset everything, and that Blue Beetle is going to be involved in the next universe. I don't know what to believe. We'll see, I guess.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
I was hoping we'd be able to get to see it in IMAX, but it already got kicked out of IMAX.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
The IMAX screens were taken over by Gran Turismo.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Just give it back to Oppenheimer. What are you doing? Just give it back to Oppenheimer.
That's what an insane move.
Yeah.
Does anybody care about that game anymore even?
Gran Turismo? I've never played it.
It's fine. It's a game.
We were a Need to Speed family. We never touched Gran Turismo.
I'm a big Forza guy myself.
All right.
Let's see how it is. Oh, wait, before we go, we got to call it.
Yeah.
1 to 10.
Ooh.
How do we think, personal enjoyment, where do you think you're going to fall in this movie? I'll go ahead and say mine. I have not thought about this very much, and I won't think about it while we're in the movie. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say like a high 6, low 7.
Yeah, that's fair. I was going to say like
6.8 to 7.1, somewhere in that range, I think is about.
Yeah, I was thinking like 5, 6 out of 10.
Oh, 5 or 6. You're going right down the middle.
I'm just going into this with no expectations or anything. Like, I'm just looking to have a good time. If I have a good time, I'll have a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking to have a good time, man.
And if you don't have you won't have a good time. If you don't have a good time.
Put that on a pillow, man. That's...
Cut it right there. That's it.
I'm going to crash into this wall in front of us. I hate myself so much. All right, let's go watch the movie.
See if we hate ourselves a little bit less after Blue Beetle.
2 hours later.
Do you want some Germex? I would love some Germex, actually.
You have one in either pocket of your of your door.
I have them for these exact occasions. Don't let me forget. I need to take some like vitamin C tablets when I get home or something.
That was disgusting. Man, that kid was sick.
That kid was he coughed every couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a reliable like 2 minutes. He's getting into a coughing fit. Not every 2-3 minutes.
Like the last third of the movie, he was like leaning towards me and like coughing. But anyway, all right. First question. I gotta ask, from a scale of 0 to changing the on a scale of 0 to changing the hierarchy of the DC cinematic universe, what would you give this?
Ooh. I would give it the Birds of Prey.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. Anyway.
Cool, thanks for writing that bit down.
All right,
it was an origin story. We all knew that going in that it would be.
Yeah.
In case you want to do like a spoiler and then sort of spoil it. We'll say when we kind of start into it, or you just want to start from the front?
I just say if like people have either already seen this movie or they're not going to go see it. Okay. I would say at this point, so
spoilers will be peppered throughout the rest of this.
Spoilers will be peppered throughout this. There's nothing really to spoil in this movie.
There really isn't.
Like there's really nothing. Everything you saw in the trailer, a little cool like sword flippity thing you did. That was cool as shit, and we already saw it in the trailer. That's tough.
I was going in. I was like, oh, cool. We're gonna get more. I like that kind of fighting thing or whatever. I like that combat style from it. Looks different than everybody else. That was as cool as it ever got.
But I cut you off. You were saying like I don't know what you were saying. You were spooling the yarn, and I cut you off mid spool.
You did, and you've derailed that train.
All right, let's talk about what we liked first.
Okay.
What did you like about this movie?
Oh boy. Well, it looked better than The Flash.
It did. It looked really good.
Pretty solid. Like,
good.
Maybe I'm just tainted by having seen The Flash was the last comic book movie I saw in theaters.
Yeah.
It was pretty solid. Not the craziest animation VFX I've ever seen, but it was pretty solid. Not a lot of complaints there.
I love the way it blended between a real suit and a CGI suit. I love the real suit. I thought the suit.
The suit. Yeah, the suit looked
phenomenal suits. I think the biggest highlight for me was the guy who played Jaime Reyes. Like, that whole character, like the actor playing him, like I loved him. I thought he was awesome. I thought he was really good. And I mean, we'll get into this later, but like I would not be mad if I saw him playing the character again. Like I thought he nailed it. I thought he was really, really good in the role.
Yeah, I mean, it's an origin story. This whole movie was it was Spider-Man, it was Iron Man, it was every movie you've ever seen all rolled into one. There was not an original idea in there, but sidetrack, or the positive side.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. He gave that young, fun, wide-eyed thing that we all want to see. Oh, also Shang-Chi, he also works for like rich people and like is poor and his sister bitches at him.
And there's a scene involving a bus in that movie as well.
There is a bus scene in that. Is that bus by any chance cut in half?
It's not. I don't think. I know.
I was gonna say.
Oh wait, yeah, it is.
Oh my god.
It's just cut differently in half. It snaps in half. This one's cut in half. That one snaps in half.
Legally distinct move.
It's like a Coke and Pepsi situation.
But yeah, no, I loved him. I thought he was fun. I thought he was charming. He was silly when he needed to be. He was serious when he needed to be. I thought he was very believable as the wide-eyed superhero kid with powers. I loved it.
I agree. Yeah. To what you were just saying though, it's like every single scene. I was genuinely not nitpicking when I was watching this, but everything I would see, I'd be like, oh, that's Iron Man. I'd be like, oh, that's it's Whiplash. I'm like, oh, that's this or that's that. Like every single thing in this movie has been done before. Not saying this wasn't done well. I think it was done fine.
But I don't think there was a single second of new stuff.
It just felt so, and it's like, I don't fault the movie for this. I just fault the timing of everything. It's like, I'm not in the mood to see another comic book movie like this. It's the same thing again.
Including the classic Marvel same versus same fight that they popularized right there at the end. I will say this, the editing, for a positive note.
Yes.
The editing, the fight scenes, they really let you hang on the action.
They did.
They trusted the stunt guy, or I don't know if it was the actor for Jaime was doing the stuff in the, when it was the more practical, like grounded fights against like henchmen or whatever. Really long shots, not a ton of cuts. They really let you hang on the fight. They really trusted their animation.
Yeah.
They trusted their stunt performers. I kind of liked the very weirdly few action scenes we got in this.
Yeah, it was few and far
between. It was really backloaded.
Yeah.
On this, but I liked all the action we got. It was really fun to watch. It didn't hurt my eyes. It was easy to do. It was great.
Sorry, I'm just watching these old couple, waiting for them to do something weird.
Any minute now. I think we're good. We'll keep you guys updated. We'll report back with more information as it develops.
But yeah, no, the action, the editing, like it really was a well done movie. I think if this had come out 20 years ago, this would have been like, no, I'm not saying it's up there with Spider-Man, but like It would have been up there with like other of the movies that came out at that time. Blade, like, you know, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Bad example. I just pulled that out of a hat.
No, I was thinking the whole time I was watching this, it's the most 2002 movie from the 2020s I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, 100%. And I thought the reason I opened with that hilarious bit, I had to edit out all the laughing because it just was so obnoxious, but like the bit about the hierarchy changing. Yeah, but at a point during this movie, I was thinking about Black Adam, and I was starting to reflect on like my thoughts on that movie. I want to go back and rewatch Black Adam because at the time I had fun with that Black Adam. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. Mm-hmm. But after seeing The Flash and after seeing this, I really want to go back and see it because I think I will enjoy it way more now, seeing what we've gotten since. I don't know if you would agree with that or not. I had that thought. I may disagree with my own thought tomorrow.
No, I get what you're saying. I think for me, they are about on the same quality scale. Fair. I think from what I remember, that one was not anything special either.
I agree.
It was not breaking any ground. The hierarchy was not shifted in the slightest. Sorry, Dwayne. Made a lot of people mad. It burned a lot of bridges for nothing. But I think it has different problems.
Yeah.
That movie. But I feel like it kind of balances out.
Yeah.
That it's really not much better than this, I don't think. I think this is if you like Black Adam, if you had a good time with a dumb action, not that I don't like not disparaging dumb action movies.
Yeah.
If you had a good time with a dumb action blockbuster like Black Adam, you'll have the same fun in this movie.
I would agree with that. Very similar movies. Isn't that weird? Same year, we get like a 2000s
It came out this
action
year,
movie.
That feels like it came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, it came out this year. That's kind of crazy. God, why is DC just so... What are they doing? What are they doing? They're 20 years behind Marvel. And I'm not saying that because like, follow exactly... Don't follow Marvel. But I'm just like...
But it feels like you're trying to.
They're trying to, but they're 20 years behind.
Yeah.
How is that even possible? God.
I'm
getting hot, man. I'm getting worked up. Thanks for wearing that shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
It'll make sense in editing. Don't worry about it. I'm putting a joke in post. Just
cool.
Just go with it.
Oh, cool. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't want to know. You bastard! You keep absolutely ruining it. I wanted to have a good time in this movie, like more. I drank before this movie a little bit. I had a little bit of a buzz coming into this.
Okay,
it wore off pretty quick because Blakey likes to drink. But I'm sorry I said that. But I'm really struggling to think of more things that I loved about this.
I'll tell you one thing I really enjoyed. Well, two things kind of in the same vein. The transformation scene at the beginning when he first turned into Blue Beetle. That was pretty hardcore. I liked that. Like it was like melting over his skin and like it was pretty horrifying.
It really got intense there. He looked like he was genuine. Like I thought he was about to die. Like bordering on like it was becoming like a Cronenbergian sort of
I like
body horror thing for like just a split second. You're like, oh shit, is this taking this turn? Because that would be. Yeah. I would, man, like an R-rated cut of this would be fun. Just like crank it up just that little bit more. This felt super PG.
Release the Soto cut. I had to look up the director's name.
You did that fast. He didn't edit that, folks. I'm saying right here, he did not edit that. He had that ready to go. Same with the villain at the end when he gets Blue Beetle-ified.
Yeah. That was
a little bit more. It was like, real Jesus.
There was moments in this where it would get really hardcore, and I like when the guy that just sacrificed himself at the end got his head chopped off, like that would kind of came out of nowhere.
The familiar from What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. Which, by the way, loved seeing him. That was fun. I know you don't watch that show. I love that show. That was a fun little. I liked him in it. I wish he got a little bit more. It feels like he probably did. There was some stuff he got on the editing floor.
Definitely,
because they really held on that. That sacrificing myself. They really held on that scene.
Grinning ear to ear
for him to just turn into red pudding.
Yeah, I wish I wish they had leaned into the more hardcore, darker elements of this. And I'm not saying I don't want it to be for kids. I mean, this movie was like loaded with like, cussing and all this stuff. So I'm like, if you can have all that,
a lot of boner jokes,
really odd. Yeah, those
are
a lot of boner jokes. If you can have boner jokes, and if you can have language, you can have darker themes in your movies. I think that's one thing that bugs me is like these movies, they act like they're for kids, but they add in all this language, they add in all this other stuff, yet they don't have mature tones. And I'm not saying this needs to be Man of Steel. I'm not saying this needs to be. Yes, it does. That's what I'm saying. Everything should be Man of Steel. No.
Release the Snyder Cut!
But no, that's not what I'm saying. But it's just like there should be more of a balance. Like when this movie went darker, when it got a little bit deeper and more emotional, like when his dad was dying and he couldn't do anything about it, like leaning into that, like that makes me feel for those characters a lot more. Mm-hmm. And I really liked that. I wish there had been more of that to kind of counterbalance the goofiness a little bit. But that's subjective. That's just me.
What I know, I'm right there with you. What did we think about the family? And we'll lump Julia or whatever her name is, Julia Cord. Mm-hmm. We'll lump her in that with like Jaime's crew.
First of all, you made just the most insane like celebrity lookalike pull ever with the Julia character pointing out that she is a dead ringer for Brendan Thwaites, I think is his name is the guy who horribly played Nightwing and was in the Pirates movie.
The fourth one, the worst Pirates movie.
The fifth one.
Oh my
the fifth one.
Oh my god. The fifth Pirates is Will's son, I believe.
But yeah, I loved the family dynamic of it. I really enjoyed a lot of the family. Didn't like George Lopez at all, really, in this. Didn't care for him. I don't think he added at all. I never laughed at him a single time.
I think he screamed on set or like for one take one time and the crew giggled, and then he just did that the rest of the movie. He's like, I'm not really going to tell jokes anymore. I'm just going to, every time anything happens, I'm going to scream, because it's funny that the big tough guy is going to scream, and he just screamed like a little girl for the rest of the movie. I don't know what that was. It would have been funny twice.
Yeah.
I'll let you get away with 2. But I mean, it probably happened at least 10 times where he just screamed like a little girl to no effect. Yeah. Even the kids next to us, when they, between coughing fits, stopped laughing at that.
Between his one long continuous asthma attack, yeah. But yeah, like there were moments where I would laugh, but it was very, very few and far between. But I'll honestly, like, I won't hold that against the movie because my sense of humor is so jacked up. I don't even know what's funny anymore. So like
shit posting on Instagram accounts with less than 5,000 followers. That is where comedy lives now. All right, all you comedians, Joe Rogan, Tim Dillon, all of you guys, every movie, Jim Carrey, suck it. It's I don't know what that was.
If you were not talking about smoking ball sacks, don't talk to me. No, but like I'm sure the humor was funny for somebody, but it just didn't do it for me. And it wasn't even that it was Marvel humor. I mean, it was that, but it wasn't even that. I just didn't find any of the jokes to be that funny.
Well, really. Again, I felt like I was watching an episode of the George Lopez show.
Yeah.
Or like anything I would have seen on TV in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It was that, not even just like level, like, oh, that was so, unevolved humor back. It was just that style of humor.
Yeah.
The whole way, just like everything else in the movie.
Yeah.
Was just jokes I've heard 100 times. Yeah. Like nothing different.
Yeah.
Like there was no, like the one, I laughed at one joke and it was probably like the most, like the darker joke in there when they're like about to make out.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
In the mansion.
That was funny.
We weren't doing anything. Like, your mom's dead. Yeah. Like what the fuck, dude? Oh, that one actually, I actually made a noise.
Yeah.
At that one, because that actually surprised me. Like, oh, that was funny.
That was
like,
that was funny.
Bit of a
yeah.
giggle.
That's the only one I can think of though.
Want to go negatives, and if we find some positives, we'll come back and...
Yeah, I think we should do that. One thing I have written here that I wanted to highlight that I thought was odd was the killing. So...
I was waiting for that one too.
Jaime has a very moral stance on killing. He says it many times, like, I don't kill, I don't want to kill. And then his family is just mowing down
slaughtering
fools.
Cord
Slaughtering people. I don't have a problem with killing. It's confusing to me of like who taught him those morals, because like
where did he get that?
I think of like just to always circle back with like Man of Steel. Like, I think of that and, like, you know, Pa Kent and, like, you know, teaching, you know, Clark, and, like, there was that ambiguity of, like, maybe you should have let the people on the bus die. You know, there was that ambiguity and that grayness about it, which I totally get if you don't like, but that was baked into him. So when he did kill Zod, like, that's not the most insane concept, because he, you know, his family wasn't necessarily against that.
Not necessarily. They were laughing about it. They were cackling when they stomped on a guy to death.
Right. So that's why it's like with Man of Steel, like I like the consistency with, you know, with this is like he was so staunchly against killing and his family was just not at all. So I don't know where he learned that or where he got that.
Yeah, that bugged me also. And then I don't know if it was because the Scarab, whose name I can't remember.
Claire? Was it Claire? I think it was
Clarice.
Clarice.
I think. Their brainwaves had merged or whatever at the end, so they were more a complete unit at the end.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, the Scarab, who had been trying to get him to kill the whole movie, stopped him from killing the bad guy, and then taught him a lesson.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Out of nowhere.
What is the Scarab even? Like, what even is that? Like, we didn't learn anything about what it is.
It's just like an alien technology, like bodysuit AI, like self-defense thing. Like, there's a bunch of Beetles in the comics. Like, there's a bunch of like different guys that wear the suits, and they're all, but most of them are aliens or like from the place where those are made.
Gotcha.
I think that's the Reach makes them. I'm fairly certain. I will get shredded if it's not in comics, but also Blue Beetle fans, there's like 10 of them.
Yeah.
So I might be all right. They might not see this.
I'll block their comments already.
Thank you. I can't handle it. But yeah, I mean, it's just like an AI thing. Like that's pretty comic accurate. Like it's usually pretty bloodthirsty and and anything you see, like any of the animated shows he's in or like any of the comics, it's usually a little more gung ho, and he's a little bit more. He's a young kid. He's not necessarily like out for blood,
right,
all the time. So I thought that was weird. That like right at the end they switch. He doesn't really get to learn a lesson. The suit teaches him the lesson. He didn't come to that on his own, at all. He was ready to murder that guy.
Yeah,
and then the suit switched just at the last second and told him no, he was a child soldier.
Yeah,
that got. All right, hold on. That's all I need to say about that. The tone of this movie. What was the direction they were going for? What? Because like we were saying earlier, like it would go between like the transformations got real dark. You know, they were like real body horror, kind of like really like dramatic, and then like the other family is freaking out when Jaime's got this on him. There's not a ton of laughs in there. There's a little bit, you know, because George Lopez can't help himself.
Right.
But like, you know, he flies out. He's doing the test flight. And they come back in and they're freaking out. Their son just woke up. You know, he's naked. He's in the room. He's just no memory. He wakes up, and then all of a sudden they start like, "You've got a crush. Yeah. You've got a crush." Like, dude, he's running out. He has an alien in his spine.
Yeah.
And you were all freaking out about that 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna like, ooh, when he's talking about Julia Cord, what is the tone? You're gonna like go through and like beat up the guy who has like clearly like misgivings about working for Mrs. Cord. Like sometimes he's cool, sometimes what's that locket all about? You find out at the end it's okay. It turns out he was a child soldier the whole time, and you get to see a really kind of dour, dark depiction of this guy's entire life right before Jaime is about to stab him in the eye. And he had a horrible life. He got blown up by a landmine, and then it just reverses back through like, oh, teenage soldier, child soldier. My mom got blown up in front. Like, right at the end, and then like more dick and fart jokes.
Yeah.
Right after that, no more than a minute after that, like a lot of boner jokes.
Yeah.
Talking about my dead mom. You know, I haven't been here in such a long time. I haven't thought about it. Boner joke. Everything. There's no shift. Like, it just doesn't. There's no like threat. Oh, and then that dark like horror movie like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Her assistant saves Jaime, tries to buy him a little time, and just gets splattered on the other side of a door by the main villain, Ajax or K-Jack or Cobalt or whatever his fucking name was.
I don't remember.
It was nothing. It was a nothing name. I don't know if that's from the comics or not, but what a nothing name. Holy moly. But
Real Steel from the movie Real Steel.
it was very Real Steel. It was a little Pacific Rim. He was a tiny little Pacific Rim guy. Why don't we need two people in him? Just put one. Make him a little bit bigger.
That was one thing I wrote down, is like this movie was like a mix of Pacific Rim, Upgrade. You remember that movie?
Oh, I do.
Because when he was like, take control, and then it took control. That was directly from Upgrade. Venom,
Very Venom.
Very Venom.
Very Venom.
Ant-Man, very Ant-Man.
Very Ant-Man.
Very
Especially right
Ant-Man.
there at the end, that little cameo.
And I also thought it felt very Arrowverse-y.
Yeah, the love interesty kind of like will they, won't they, like stuff, and
I think
some of the family drama was very.
And I probably wrote that just because it just
CW.
feels dated. It just feels like, oh, this feels like something I would have watched, back in high school or something, or middle school or elementary school, like
Or kindergarten.
yeah.
Or something I listened to in utero because my mom wouldn't play Beethoven. It's just. I'm trying to think of the way to articulate this.
Yeah.
The best way, because I don't want to. It seems like I'm shitting on it super hard. I don't want to be that guy.
It's not the worst
It's
DC
really
movie.
no. Absolutely, go watch it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You can be a little bit buzzed, and you'll have a great time. It's better than a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go have a dumb time with something,
Don't go
it's
see
better
the
than-
Meg 2. Go see Blue Beetle.
Yeah, there you go.
There's nothing else in theaters right now. Like, literally. Like, I mean, go see Barbie if you haven't seen Barbie, but then go see Blue Beetle.
Yeah, do that.
There you go.
I like that.
You got your weekend planned out.
So he's Spider-Man. He's just Spider-Man.
Very.
And halfway through the movie, or not even halfway, like the first third of the movie, I leaned over to you when Jaime and his dad are having a very heartfelt conversation. By the way, the bottle of tequila he's drinking, I like that tequila a lot. Pretty solid tequila.
There you go.
Anyway, they're having this heartfelt conversation on their front yard. And he gives him the "with great power comes great responsibility" speech.
Yeah.
That's, you gotta find your purpose. It's right here. Like, he just gives him the whole speech.
Yeah.
There's not as much, it's not Peter Parker. You're not my dad. It's a really nice family. They always get along all the time. They're very sweet. They're a very likable group. A little much sometimes, but none of the drama about, like, I was going to be different. I was going to leave you guys behind. Like, They're always all nice to each other. I like
love that.
I like that a lot.
It's refreshing.
But he gives him the almost, like, just without saying "with great power comes great responsibility"
Yeah.
speech. And then leaned over and grabbed your leg, and I said, he's going to die soon.
That motherfucker just sealed his fate.
Dude, I've never seen someone so dead.
Dude, I'm never giving my kids advice like that. Like, they
Hell
can
no.
learn that from somebody else.
Uh-huh.
Send them over to Uncle Blake's to teach them that shit.
My kid comes back to football, is beat up, doesn't get the spot he wanted. All right, buddy, that's tough. That's tough. I'm not getting murdered by gangsters for you to learn a lesson right now, so you can be a better man. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not getting gunned down in front of you. But so he does. He gets, his Uncle Ben is killed.
You called that.
And I love the little scene where he gets to talk to him right at the end, like right when Jaime's like right on death's door.
What was that? That felt like another movie also, and I couldn't remember. I couldn't peg what it was.
Oh God.
That felt like something. It felt so familiar.
It really, really did. It was a little, oh boy.
Ooh.
It was a little cop buzz somebody there.
Oh man.
Like some teenagers humping
Probably
in that handicap spot up there. He's coming for us next.
Oh man.
Your boy's podcasting in there. You have a permit for that? But so it's very like Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
It's very Doctor Strange. It's very the first Deadpool.
That's what it was.
When he's talking
That's what it was.
He's talking her through the little wall.
Either the first one or the second one.
It's the second one. Because
and
and
she's
then,
like, "Oh, it's not your time. You need to go back." And he's
like
"No,
talking
come
her
with
through the
me."
wall and everything.
That was
it's
the exact same scene. That's what it
every
was.
scene, I swear to you, every scene in this movie, you can find a one-for-one in another comic book movie from before 2010.
That scene was exactly Deadpool. That was exactly word for word. And again, like exactly what Blake said, like it's not that this was done bad. This was a fine movie. I never want to watch it again, but it was fine. Totally fine. But just so unoriginal. Every single scene in this movie was from something else.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment, honestly. I mean, that's insane to be able to do that.
It feels intentional.
Because I even think back to like Black Adam, like, it felt like a 2000s superhero flick. But, in some ways it was like really hardcore, or like, like it was this or that, like there were aspects of it that felt unique that I hadn't seen before, that I liked, like at least from memory.
It wasn't a shot-for-shot remake of every movie you've ever seen before.
This just, it's baffling how much they took from other movies. I don't know how that's not just straight up plagiarism, honestly.
Yeah. But so we've got our Peter Parker
Iron Man
character who has, I guess, like 5 Aunt Mays.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And a Mary Jane.
Yeah. Peter Parker, Iron Man,
Dude,
Ant-Man.
you leaned over the first time we see Ajax or K-Jax or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
You leaned over and you're like, that's just Whiplash.
And then
he had the walking out onto the racetrack suit where it just kind of covers all the parts of your body you don't really care about. Like your dick and your heart are still out for everybody to just shoot at. He's got that. And then he gets an upgraded suit based on the hero's technology for the third act fight. And he comes out and he's chasing him down. And it's, oh my gosh, he's too hard to beat. And then he busts out a fucking whip, an electric red whip, like just the same thing. And then at the end, you're like, dude, this is just Iron Man. I'm just watching Iron Man again. And then as you said that, I mean, I kid you not, maybe 10 seconds later, he goes for a shoot a big beam out of my chest move. And I looked over at you and threw my hands up at the center. Like, what are you going to do?
Like, you have to see it just to believe how much of a ripoff it is.
We're missing things too.
Yeah, there was so much. You can't even encapsulate all of it.
Even him and his sister was exactly just Shang-Chi and Awkwafina's character from Shang-Chi.
Absolutely.
The exact same, like, oh, you're a little bit of a nerd, aren't you? You're gonna bang that girl. I think she's into you. Maybe she is. Maybe she isn't really. Like, just tearing him down and then building him up when it's like this same. She gets a cool weapon and she learns how to use it all of a sudden, and she beats up a bad guy or two. She has the same movie.
That's exactly it. That was another movie I was thinking about during this movie, in between Black Adam and I was thinking about Shang-Chi. And that's another one I want to revisit because I think I'll like that one more retrospectively. Because like I really liked it when it came out, but I think after all the Marvel that's come out, after all the DC that's come out, I think that movie will be in a much better position. Because thinking back on it, I'm like, there was a lot of original stuff in that. There's a lot of really cool lore stuff in that I would like to see again.
I want to ask you something about that movie and how it relates to this one, a separate thing.
Okay.
Culturally, that movie hit a lot of like Eastern stuff, particularly like Chinese things. I thought really respectfully, and really well. I loved that movie. I liked how they kind of like tied it in. It wasn't cartoonish. I think there maybe were some moments where it was a little over the, a little exaggerated, I guess, a little stereotypical maybe.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, I thought it was very respectful of Asian culture.
I agree.
The casting, the costumes, everything about like the dialogue, everything was very respectful, I thought, of that culture. Do you think they handled Hispanic, Latin American culture the same way they did, like to the same degree they did Asian culture in Shang-Chi?
Honestly, I could not tell you. I couldn't tell you. Like, it seemed to be fine to me. It's really hard to tell because George Lopez was just being a caricature.
Oh my God.
So it's really hard to tell. Other than him, the whole family felt very realistic to me for the most part. But really, it was just him that just stood out. Like, I liked the dad. I liked the mom. The sister was really annoying, but like, whatever. That's probably realistic.
Well, she's Awkwafina, so.
Yeah, she's Awkwafina. So yeah, I didn't really have a problem with the family. Like, it seems realistic, but I the audience won't know this, but you will know this. I'm not steeped in Latin culture myself.
You, the whitest man I've ever met.
So despite being the ultimate, authority on like determining, how culturally relevant this movie was, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. It seemed fine to me, but I have no idea.
I thought it was pretty similar. I thought it was a little, it's like a caricature a little bit sometimes. Sometimes I really like the family dynamic. Sometimes it's like, are we going to dance and sing at Jaime, like to make fun of Jaime again?
Yeah.
That happened 6 times.
Yeah.
Like it was just a little, I was like, they don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, they don't do that every time anybody does something. There's no way. That's like, it was like when they all got together, it was a little like, oh, this is just what Hispanic families are like.
Yeah.
They're loud and they make fun of each other and they sing little songs. Like,
Right.
that got a little, I was like, all right, we're going to keep doing this. It feels a little weird. But other than that, I really liked it.
But yeah, I agree. Just make them more white. I agree.
Oh my
it's
God.
like, just make... I'm kidding.
Don't you put that on me.
I'm editing that out.
No, you can't. Because we're still talking about it. What did you think of our villains?
First thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to keep this brief to keep it respectful.
You can try.
Susan Sarandon is a queen. Oh, man. She is incredible. I mean, since the Bull Durham days, she has not looked better. I mean, she looks phenomenal.
She's looking great.
I'm going to stop it there.
Good.
Because I'm going to go on a tangent.
All right.
So I'm just going to stop that right
Allow
there.
me to pick up.
Please, please.
You think I'll keep you on your leash for a minute?
I'm sorry.
No, I love it. Do more of that. Do impressions next time. She sold. All right. She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon nailed that character. She sold.
She couldn't. She's perfect.
The boss bitch, titan of industry character.
Yeah.
Through and through. I'm going to shit on this character here in a second. Mm-hmm. She didn't do anything wrong. Now let me shit on the character.
Yeah.
That was the most egregious example of the evil billionaire weapons manufacturer I've ever seen in a movie. Mm-hmm. It was on par. It was approaching RoboCop levels of evil corporatism.
That's another movie, RoboCop. This movie felt like RoboCop.
It's almost, oh my God, it's RoboCop.
God damn it. It's
just
just RoboCop. It's all RoboCop. Always has been.
It was RoboCop all along. Oh, damn it. Yeah,
It
shit,
really
it
was
is.
just RoboCop. Wow.
Damn it, I wish I hadn't said that. I wish we hadn't got to that conclusion.
But no, you're 100% right. She was the worst character. Holy shit. The conversations they would have with her henchmen, she was like, I've searched 15 years for this. It's here. I can feel it. Like, we're going to destroy people's lives with this. Like, it's, oh my God, it sucked. She sucked.
She, at one point, I don't need to say anything else about her to tell you what kind of an evil, cackling, corporate dickhead she was. She literally walks up to her niece. I think, right? Niece? Yeah, niece. Her niece.
Yeah.
As she's, laying in the dirt, been defeated by her goons. She walks up to her and she goes, Julia, Julia, Julia. She gives her the tisk, tisk, tisk and the name 3 times. Like a high school bully in an 80s TV show. I was like, wow, we're capping this character off with that. And then in the flashback we get of Skrillex.
Yeah.
You see her again a little bit more like, but ma'am, this surgery could kill him. She's like, well, get another one.
Yeah.
Who cares? And we see it go even further back. She is hiring child soldiers in the Congo or wherever the hell they're at. It's some poor, impoverished country in Latin America. I know the Congo's not in Latin America. Sorry. Edit that out. But she's like really quick, like, she looks at the kid like she's hand inspecting every child soldier in that militia group. Why? For why? Why was she doing that?
She loves her job, man. She's just dedicated.
I guess so, man. She's
these little boy soldiers one by one.
a very hands-on managerial type, and you know what? I can't fault it. It's worked. It's a very successful company. What do you want me to say?
But yeah, she was terrible. All her goons were terrible. The villain, terrible.
They tried to make him sympathetic, but just
It was too late at that point. I mean,
there was nothing, because he's just spouting. He was literally just Killmonger. Had he made that suit at the end, he would have given the, how ironic, Tony.
yeah.
Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. And now I'm gonna kill you with it.
But yeah, even back to Whiplash. Like, Whiplash, that Iron Man 2 starts with planting the seed of him being pissed and him being upset and, his reason for why he wants to kill Tony. It's planted, it grows, you see it, you can sympathize with, you can understand it as you go. And he wasn't even the most fleshed out villain.
No.
But even with this, it's like, we don't get anything about him until right at the end. It's just
He
like,
doesn't even have
dumb.
a bird.
Yeah.
I wanted my bird. He doesn't even have his bird. Dude, he didn't
Get
even
the
have...
man a bird.
He didn't even have like a little ferret or something. Nothing. No character. I think the family was the saving grace of this movie. Again, not my favorite thing ever. Not the thing I wanted. I didn't want to watch a whole movie of just them. But Sorry, people walk by, so I have the attention span of a squirrel.
Where you going?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right. So the grandma.
Yeah,
went
let's
from
get to
a
that.
sweet, lovable little abuela who was just knitting. And oh, by the way, she did the Stan Lee for us. I think she did the Stan Lee, have headphones on, not hear the horrible catastrophe in the next room.
Amazing Spider-Man
Cliche.
2. There you go.
That Amazing Spider-Man 2.
There we go.
She did that at one point for us. And she did the Jurassic Park. Look at a cup of water rattle on there to know something's coming before you hear it coming.
When this movie gets on digital, you and me, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna watch the entire thing through, and we're gonna list out every single other movie that made this movie.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it like a frame by frame.
Yeah, that'll be like a 3-hour-long video.
But she goes from this sweet little abuela, taking care of the family, joking around, having fun, to a cackling Gary Busey, former freedom fighter. I kind of like that turn.
Yeah.
If she became more serious.
Yeah.
If she was sillier and just the fun, like she seems like almost kind of senile. She's just goofing around, doesn't really get what's going on. And then she gets a chance to like be that freedom fighter, guerrilla warfare person again.
Yeah.
And then she gets crazy again, like she would have.
Yeah.
But she's kind of just loosey-goosey the whole time, and then goes Gary Busey crazy. If we can get some screenshots of this movie and give you some side-by-sides, she's doing Gary Busey. I don't know if they're related in some way, if that's his grandma or his mom or something, but that is... I thought it was Gary Busey wearing a Mexican grandmother mask. It was insane.
Yeah, like on paper, I don't hate that idea. Like it was not that surprising because she was so overly uninvolved with everything. And like I know we've seen that before. I can't think of it. I want to say maybe Spy Kids or some shit like that. Like there was some movie where like a grandparent or somebody is just so uninvolved, so not paying attention, and then all of a sudden it hits the fan. And, they pull out double Uzis and they're like, they were ready the whole time.
You see that in Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk. At the end, Doc Brown comes in. And his dad runs a shop and it starts killing people super hard.
That's a little bit that. But there's another example.
There's a better one out there.
Where like that, this exact same thing happens. So I'm fine with the idea. It just felt weird. I don't know. Maybe it was just at the point in the movie.
Well, I think it just was handled.
Yeah, it's probably just the way it was handled.
Just performed. Well, she did. I like the grandmother again.
Yeah.
No problem. Really, any of the actors. I think everybody kind of.
Yeah.
At least
Except for George Lopez.
And again, he was tolerable.
Yeah.
He didn't ruin anything.
Yeah, he didn't ruin.
It was just a lot. It was just I don't think he had anybody writing for him to help him do anything in this. But it was just handled poorly. I think it just wasn't. It could have been way funnier or way more exciting, but it just was kind of.
Yeah.
The lady sitting next to me was eating it up.
Really?
She was like, Whenever she she whips that big disco ball Gatling gun around, and she goes, "Oh shit, you can go, grandma." Like she's just like mumbling under her breath the whole time, like hell yeah. She really liked the grandma character, so maybe I'm off. Well, maybe I'm not in touch.
I think back to like what we were saying before is like we're shitty on this, but go see the movie. Like,
please, it's
go
fun.
See it.
It's fun.
It's fun. We're just like, we're just pointing out like issues we have, but like, I would not, if anyone were to come up and ask me like, should I go see it? I would say absolutely. Unless you don't like superhero movies, because this is the most just generic superhero movie you'll ever see. So if you don't like it, you're gonna fucking hate this movie. But if you enjoy superhero movies,
if you're in the mood for a fun action movie,
go see it.
Go see it.
Because it's not even that much action. It's mostly just faffing about. And it's just faffing about in Mexican. It's like... it's just Ant-Man, but Mexican.
It really just kind of is.
It's like, I liked this more in some ways than Ant-Man. I mean, no, I don't. I like the first Ant-Man I like more, but like, there are aspects of this I think that are done better. More aspects that are done worse. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I don't know. It's the kind
I don't want to be around anymore.
I don't want to be around anymore.
It's too much shit on me. I just feel gross because the kid coughed on us the whole time. I'm so glad I had you as a buffer
Don't,
between
like,
me and that kid.
The whole movie, I was just like calculating out what am I doing 3 days from now, and if I can be sick and still get by. I'm like, do I have a meeting on Monday? I'm gonna be sick.
Is my dehumidifier and my humidifier working?
Be sick.
Yeah, that. I know. All right. What's our rank?
I don't know. Low, but also not, because it's not a bad movie. How do you rate a movie like this? Because it's like, if I look at it in isolation, it's fine. But if I look at it just where I'm at right now, where we're at in the year of our Lord 2023, I like this movie way less. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like I want to give it like a 4 or a 5.
Oh my.
I know, but it's like, it
my.
doesn't deserve that. Like, it really doesn't deserve that. So I would almost say 5 or 6. I'm debating 4 or 5 or 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Very middling.
I'm torn. I don't know, because I don't want to be too mean on it.
I will give it a 5.9. I don't exactly want to say it's almost above average.
Yeah.
There's stuff that really drags it down and keeps it from being, but again, fight scenes are really fun. CGI is great. There's some fun like family interactions. I like seeing Blue Beetle for the first time on screen. The suit looks amazing.
Yeah.
Practical and special effects suit looks great. Like, there's some things to like about this. So like, I don't want to say I didn't have it wasn't Black Widow.
Yeah.
It wasn't Black Widow.
Yeah. And that's why it's like, I shouldn't give it a 4 or a 5. That is too low. Maybe a 5 is fine, but like,
It can be
it's
average.
just my personally, I won't watch this again, except for when we go through and make notes of all the things it stole from. But like, I'm not going to go back and watch it again. I have no desire to watch it again, but I can recognize it's a fine movie. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I won't say that. It's a fine movie.
It's the most movie
Yeah.
to ever movie.
This is a good question. Is what's better, this or The Flash?
Oh God.
Yeah. Flash was pretty bad.
Flash was real bad.
I think this is better just because it's
No.
a cohesive movie. Like, The Flash was just like...
But so what weighs on the scales of movie justice more? Trying something a little different? You know, and taking some chances on an incomprehensible time travel plot? Or telling a boilerplate superhero origin story competently, you know, what weighs more? I'm going to give it to The Flash, even though there are things I despise about that movie. And if people are still, if The Flash is still trending or whatever, we can maybe do a commentary. We can kind of go through, we can watch that again. We can maybe watch it together in one of our houses and kind
I'd be
of
down.
check that out maybe at some point. But I think it's not a lot better than this, but it is, in my opinion, better than this.
You're probably right. Yeah, all the bad things just stick in my head from that movie. But yeah, you're probably right.
Like when he puts that baby in that microwave.
Yeah.
For like a while. This movie did not have the same stakes as The Flash. Almost no babies were directly in harm's way.
Yeah.
In this movie.
This is very small scale. There was like no stakes in this, which I'm fine with. It does.
I know. I love that. Not everything has to tie into.
Yeah,
oh my God,
I love
Darkseid's
that.
coming.
That's okay. That's a positive.
I will give it that.
This
was
movie totally separate. Didn't tie in anything.
Completely self-contained story.
Yeah.
Left itself open to potential sequels.
What I did find it to be a little in poor taste when, like, spoiler, when they brought out like Henry Cavill and James Gunn came out and put a clown nose on him. Like, that was
Yeah, and he honked. He's like,
that was in poor taste.
and then they both pissed on a picture of The Rock together. I thought that was a bit much. You didn't need to do that, I thought.
But no, thank God, no Wonder Woman. No Wonder Woman.
God, I made me hate Shazam made me hate Wonder Woman. Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. Is this better than Shazam 2,
No.
Fury of the Gods?
I like Shazam 2 better.
Oh, fuck you.
I actually enjoyed that movie. I didn't hate it.
This is better than that, I think, for me.
I'd say that's better.
That's another one we missed. We didn't talk about
we'll
that
have to talk
one.
about that one.
No, we don't. Don't make me do this.
No, I like that one more.
Oh, we're split on this one.
Black Adam. Where would you put this or Black Adam?
Ooh,
I put Black Adam all
I think so.
day.
I think so too.
Black Adam or the Flash?
Oh, the Flash.
Black Adam or, well, I was gonna say Black Adam or Shazam, but I already know your answer on that.
Shazam is. Oh, that would be. We maybe need to like argue about a list of DC movies now that this universe is. Oh no, we gotta.
We still have Aquaman.
Oh no! All right, when Aquaman comes out, you have, if we haven't killed each other by then, or died of of our crippling fentanyl addictions, we will make a comprehensive list of every Snyderverse DC movie.
Yeah.
In our respective ranks, and then bring and show them to each other at the same time.
I like
and
that.
We'll go down. We'll start at the bottom and go up. And I think that's, or like maybe go through chronologically and say where we had the movie, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think that would be fun to do once the Snyderverse has completely capped out and we've moved on to James Gunniverse.
I like that.
I think it's a good way to go.
I like it.
Final thoughts? Anything you want to say on BB?
I want to go home. I'm tired.
Dude, it's so hot in this
Tired.
car.
It's hot.
Go see it.
Yeah, go see it.
It's a movie. It's the most moviest movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
At least 3 of those trailers we watched in there before this, I would rather have seen this than any of those. Than Trolls 3.
The boy band or whatever. Oh, that looks so bad. Like I was saying to you before, like, I know I'm not a kid. I'm not expecting things to always be what I want. I'm not talking about that. But like, I remember being a kid. I wouldn't have cared about Trolls being in a boy band. That seems so weird.
No. I don't know. I kind of like the first one.
I haven't seen it.
The first Trolls movie.
I haven't seen it.
At least when I saw it forever ago now, it was kind of a fun little thing. I kind of like that movie.
So
a little bit.
I shouldn't judge by a trailer.
You totally can't, because I guarantee you that's all the best moments of the movie right there, except for like the sad characters fight at the end of the movie cliche right before they get into the final battle.
All right, yeah, I have no more thoughts.
Go see it. Go watch Blue Beetle.
Go see it. It's fine. Yeah.